I actually got a question from one of my buddies today in my DMs. I'm not going to tell you who. I'm going to keep it anonymous, but he asked a very interesting question, which I thought I could talk about right now. So he says, I had a quick question for you that I really would like your insight on, because I've been getting this question from other guys too. I want to hear your perspective because you've done porn. Basically, knowing what you know about women and with how sexually open women in porn are, obviously, would you ever get into a long-term relationship with a chick who took and enjoyed a dick bigger than yours? Assuming she claims you are her best lay and seems to act like that is the case. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I thought it was a very interesting question. Now, obviously, I have been in relationships with girls in porn, obviously, and basically, if any girl gets into if a girl gets into porn, it's a guarantee she's going to have sex with the dude who's got a dick bigger than me. I've grown my dick, but I don't claim to have the biggest dick in the world. That's absolutely not the case. And there are plenty of dudes who have bigger dicks than me in this industry. At least longer. I'm packing when it comes to girth, but length wise, definitely. So to answer this guy's question, would you ever get into an LTR, a long-term relationship with a girl who's enjoyed or been with a dude with a bigger dick than you? Well, I have done that because that's basically the default. If you get into a relationship with a girl who's in porn, basically, they will at some point have a dick bigger than yours. I don't really care who you are, unless you're Dredd. Dredd's about the only exception to that rule because he has one of the biggest penises in the world. Now, the thing is, will I care about that, or does that matter for dudes? So it's an interesting question because there's no doubt, from my experience, that like having a big penis is an attractive trait for it. Like chicks are attracted to it. You know, they fucking talk about it, they brag about it to their friends. Like there's no doubt in my mind that is like an evolutionarily attractive thing to see a dude with giant junk. All right, hands down. Whether or not it is super pleasurable, that's a different debate. Sometimes, like if you got a dude with a really long dick and he's just hitting the cervix, it can hurt him. Doesn't feel fantastic. Sometimes dudes with massive dicks don't really have to do much else, so they're not as sort of I don't know, well-rounded in the bedroom as other dudes can be. There's an argument for that. Okay, but there's no doubt that like if a dude's packing, it looks attractive to chicks. No doubt in my mind about that. Now, so I carry on. Obviously done that, blah, blah. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter. In terms of like, if you're getting into a long-term relationship with a girl, and Barry, I will get to your question in a second. In terms of getting into a long-term relationship with a girl, if you're her best like option, if you're her best choice, if you're her alpha seed, for want of the terminology that gets thrown around, and if you're giving her and this is why I kind of finished with this guy, and if you're giving a girl an experience in the bedroom that other guys haven't given her, then you are absolutely going to be like her. Like she's going to get alpha widowed by you, to use the terminology. Like you're going to be like the most memorable fuck in her like repertoire, even more so than a dude with a giant penis. And I made a point here with messaging my friend here. I said, I would personally be far more concerned if she, like concerned in terms of like, oh, there's no way I'm like this girl's best like lay ever, and she's probably alpha widowed to some dude. So it's like you're not her best option, right? You never want to feel like a girl's settling for you, right? Like that opens up a whole can of worms. But I would be far more concerned if a girl I was dating had previously been in a relationship with a professional dom. I'll say that again. I would be far more concerned if a girl I was dating had been in a previous relationship with a professional dom versus a dude with a giant penis. Far more concerned about the professional dom, because I know for certain that a professional dom, I mean, look, I'm a dominant guy. I've worked for companies like kink.com. I've done a lot of domination work, like both on screen and in my private life, but I don't claim to be at the level of a professional dom, right? Someone who can completely mind fuck like a girl on so many different levels, and provide an experience that is unparalleled to like every other experience they could possibly have. So that is like, if a girl has been in a relationship with a professional dom in the past, look, to every guy that she's going to date henceforth, I'm sorry, buddy, but you are not comparing. You are coming up short, and I fucking guarantee it. Because he would have had her fucking strung up from the rafters, forcing her to orgasm with a Hitachi strapped to her pussy. He would have had her like locked up in a cage. I don't know, like feeding her through the cage, like teaching her to go through different positions, and then punishing her if she makes mistakes. Like there's just layers and layers and layers of sexual experience that you can get in a BDSM dom sub relationship that is just miles above what most people do in the bedroom, even if they have a big dick and even if they are good in bed, So you're being good in bed is good for attending a girl's, because of what we just talked about. Because if you're good in bed, you can give a girl a sexual experience she's never had before, or you can be her best lay. Makes you memorable, makes you like kind of immediately puts you in that alpha status, kind of immediately makes you like the alpha widow if she decides to eventually move on from you, or you decide to have her move on, or you decide to move on from her. But just like everything in life, there's probably someone better than you out there. Like, and I like playing basketball. I've played basketball my whole life, but there's a hell of a lot of people that are way better than me. I just got to accept that fact at a certain point.